Listen, I'm starving. And yes, I'm eating pasta with a spoon. And yes, I'm eating slices of bread instead of rolls because I was too lazy to put them in the oven. And yes, majority of my nails are missing because I can't get them off. The couple that's stuck on. And no, I'm not fixing it. So I'll get ready to leave the house. So with all that said, further ado, let's get into this video. Refreshing. So, we're doing a Q&A, and I asked everybody on my Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever it was, and I was like, I asked everybody on my other social media platforms to send me questions that they wanted me to answer. So, before I do the questions I was asked, here's common questions that excuse me? Here's common questions that I always get asked. So, albinism. Yes, I do have albinism. Me personally, I'm okay with people being like, oh, she's an albino. But don't do that with every albino because some don't like that. But me personally, I'm okay with it just because I grew up like that. So, yeah. Like, literally, one of my nicknames is like Albino Dino. Albino, never mind. Anyway, it's okay with me. But a lot of people that have albinism prefer to be called a person with albinism, not albino. Albinism, for those of you who don't know, it is... I don't know what to call it anymore because originally everybody was like disorder, then they were like disease, and now it's classified as condition. So I'm just gonna call it what I knew it to be, which was a genetic mutation, in which you don't have any pigment, melanin, color, however you want to classify it, in your hair, eyes, or skin. The strain of albinism I have, I don't want to say I have pigment because clearly I don't, but I have a little more than the other people I know with albinism. So I have a lot of friends that have albinism and they look nothing like me, and you're just like, you know, most albinos, black albinos, they have that platinum yellowy blonde hair. Mine is brown. Their eyes are hazel. Mine are blue, green, and hazel. So it's like, I don't have pigment, but I got more than most. It's a different strand. Anyway, I digress. So, I know a bunch of questions are going to come from that because I always get 1,000 questions about that, and we'll just get to that when we get there. So, let's jump into these questions. Oh, wait, was there anything else I wanted to... Oh, so, school. Yes, I'm in college, but I took a semester off. I plan on going back in January, but from the looks of it, we'll see how they go. So, first question. If you had a son or daughter, what would be their names? That's a wonderful question. So, honestly, I'm not sure because all of the names that I did have, I forgot. And some of them were like pretty, like super pretty names I just forgot. But the one that has stuck and I do remember, it was a Facebook post actually that gave it to me, and they were like, your daughter's name is your mom's maiden name and your middle name. And I was like, oh, that would be pretty, and the name would be Cartier Sedell. I think that would be pretty, but I ain't 100% sure. Pause. Play. One of my nail bottles is open. I had to close that. Now, as for a son, I have no idea. I don't know. I guess I just never saw myself having a... Well, I don't have kids, but I just don't be seeing myself with a son. I just see myself having daughters. But at the same time, I can't see myself with kids at all. So it's like, boy names just never really crossed my mind. But if I had a son, if I had any kids at all, the names wouldn't be no everyday names. I hate that. I can't stand running into somebody that I know 15 other Alicias or Sarahs, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I like the different. I want people to be like, your name is what? Like, even my name is a common name. My name is Kylie. Like, it has an H in it, but it's still very common. That's a white girl name. But it's common, so I really ain't sure. Next question. Do you think racism will ever end? Okay. No, genuinely, I don't think so. But, well, okay, pause. I don't think we will see it in our lifetimes, honestly. But when it comes to the next couple generations, I think they might be able to at least suppress it to the point where it will be very unusual for people to be racist. Because now it's like, it's common that there's racism around. But I feel like in a couple more generations, you being racist is going to be unusual. And people going to be like, you know, and it's not going to slide as much as it does now. But that also would be assuming that everybody in the government was voted out, kicked out, and we had new people who were open to a lot of new ideas and things, and won't be the same way. I guess I don't know. But on that topic, please don't judge me for this, but I really want to see, and I know this is bad, I know it's bad, but I really want to see the roles flipped. Like, imagine if white people were enslaved and black people ran everything, and Native Americans, which I never understood that. I don't understand. How can you be native to somewhere? Anyway, so indigenous people, Native Americans, I'm not trying to be offensive, I just don't know which one is more appropriate, because one of those doesn't make sense to me when you actually think about how it came to be. But if the minorities, if they were in charge and they ran everything, and the white people was out there picking corn and cotton and whatever else we decided to make them do just to be petty, I just feel like the world will be upside down, flipped around. Not even in a bad way. It's just, imagine if black people had that much power. I'm ready to see it. No, I'm not saying white people should be enslaved, but I really am ready to see white people not have power. I just, no offense to anybody, I just really am tired of it, and I'm really ready to see it. But granted, those black people would have to be smart enough to not abuse their power. Honestly, I was gonna say not abuse their power on the level that they did, but honestly, would it be right? Would it be wrong? You may never know. So, yeah, but to answer your question, I'm not sure if I believe that racism will end in our lifetime. So, next question. Do teachers really care about students, or are they just doing their job for a check? About that. Well, honestly, 100% honest, it really does depend on teacher. It depends on how much you're getting paid. It depends on what, like, their kids, what their boss, supervisor, whatever you want to call them, what they're like. It really just depends, because in the state of Missouri, I'm positive that Missouri teachers get paid the lowest. Not the extreme lowest, but we pretty low on the list of how much teachers get paid. So when teachers are sitting there working, struggling through, it ain't even because of their check, because I'm being honest with you. Missouri teachers do not get paid that much. It's really because of the fact that they love the kids, honestly. Not all of them, obviously. Some teachers are doing it for a check, but the teachers that stick around for a while, that actually, hey, you need help, let's come on in my class after school, or I see you didn't do so good on this, but you did good on the study review, so let's work this out. You know, the teachers that they show you they care, yes, obviously. But then you do have those teachers who, they're just jerks, or they're just nonchalant, so you don't know if they actually care or not. And those are the ones where I personally think is one or two things. One, they don't care, and they're at that point in their life where they're so done and over everything that do what you wish, I don't care, it is what it is. Or two, the check is really all they after. So yes, some teachers do care, but it really just depends. But most of the time, especially state of Missouri, it ain't about that check. What is your favorite moment this year, and which is your worst? This year has been so up, down, left, right, loop-de-loop, back, forth, round and about. So, my favorite moment this year. My favorite moment. Okay, my favorite moment probably will be my birthday. Because this was the first year in a very long time I actually did something for my birthday. And so for my birthday, what did I do? I got drunk. Actually, I lied. I didn't get drunk. I was just tipsy. I wasn't drunk. And then I went and got a tattoo on my chest. If you on my Instagram, you know exactly what tattoo I'm talking about, because that's my favorite. And yeah. Then I went pole dancing with some of my friends, which was fun. It was pretty fun. If you hesitant about going pole dancing, just do it. Just do it. I'm telling you. Everybody be like, oh, but I'm not strong enough, bro. You not even gonna realize you using your own weight until after the class and you sore and you hurting. But in the midst, you gonna have the best time of your life. So do that. And then I went to dinner, and that was really it. But it was the first time that I did something. It was the first time I enjoyed my birthday. It was the first, it was a good birthday. And I think that will be the best part of this year. And then my worst, my worst part of this year probably would be like April and May. It was rough. Very rough. School was ending. Had finals and stuff. All my relationships, I was like distancing myself from everybody. I guess you could say I had depression, but I don't like saying that. I call them sad spells or whatever, but it was really bad. It was pretty bad. I made some decisions I regret, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm young, live and learn. But yeah, May was pretty rough for me altogether. Yeah. Next question. What is your biggest fear? Okay, here's the thing. If we're talking, and don't laugh at me because I'm 100% serious and I really don't think it's funny. But if we're talking like stupid stuff, I'm horrified of spiders, bugs, anything that can fly, crawl, move. I'm scared. Like, next level scared. And here's the thing. I ain't talking about I'm gonna scream bloody murder. Actually, I'm lying. I just stopped screaming about a year ago. But, prime example, last night, or the night before, I'm sitting here, minding my business, cleaning up or whatever, and a moth got in the house. I didn't know, but I'm the only person up. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. So, I just so happened to sit down on the bed, take a break. I looked up, y'all, and it's a moth at the light, but it was big. To me, it looked like T-Rex. So I was like, oh no. So I took off running, because it's I don't care that it's small. I don't care that it's harmless. It was big, and it was tweaking. It was doing too much. Like, normally, mouse to circle the light or whatever. No, this one, it was tweaking. I ain't had time for it. So I ran to my grandpa. I'm like, hey, can you come get it? Y'all, while we walked back in here, and it was gone. I stayed up for 30 minutes watching. And then I passed out. But yeah, I don't play about bugs, moths. I don't care what it is. Okay, please don't laugh. Because like I said, it's not funny. But I'm not scared of butterflies, but like, yeah, I don't want it to touch me. You know what I mean? Like, I could look at a butterfly, but if it gets to flying towards me, I'm gone. Now, anything else, if it gets to moving, I'm out. I will set the house on fire. No joke. There's been stuff, I'm the type of person, I get a lighter and some air freshener and I'm so serious. Literally, I don't, can't do it. Hate that. But if we're talking like on a serious note, my biggest fear is that I die and there's nothing. Okay? And by that I mean, like, I die right now. I have no money left for anybody. I have no, like, when I die, it's over. There's nothing of me. Nobody knows me. Nobody got none to remember me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, by the time I die, I want to have this big old, like, legacy. I want to have all of my empires built. I want to have all of my organizations set up. I want to be filthy, rich, wealthy. I want to be wealthy. I want my kids to come up, take over all my foundations, organizations, charity, whatever I get involved in. I want to take over that. I want them to use all the money that I save up, which is hopefully $1 billion, and they do smart things about it. So, yeah, but that's like my biggest fear, is that I die and I ain't get to do none of the stuff that I wanted to have set in place before I die. So, yeah. I'm working on it, though. How old are you? How old I look? Because I get asked that question a lot, and I just be like, do I really look like a baby? Or are you just trying to cover yourself? I am 19. I'm 19. And I don't care that everybody make fun of me because I walk around with SpongeBob hoodies. Because I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to be 40 rocking a whole SpongeBob. Okay, pause. I'm finna get my apartment, right? And I saw this dope Nickelodeon 90s shower curtain. I gotta get it. I got to. It had Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, even though that, anyway, Hey Arnold, SpongeBob, who else was on there? I don't remember. Yeah, I remember, but it was nice. And then I saw the SpongeBob one. It was alright, but if we gonna do SpongeBob, it gotta be no questions asked. You can make fun of me, but at the same time, you gonna know that's hard to tell. You can laugh, but it's still gonna be hard to tell, like, undeniably. So if I go all in with that, it's gonna be A1. Where are you from? I'm from my mama's stomach. No, but for real, I'm from the state of Missouri. Show me state. So you gotta show me you worth my time. Just kidding. Not really. Am I single? So listen. Because everybody be asking that. And I don't be answering it. Because it's complicated. And I don't mean like normal people complicated. I mean, I got issues. So let me explain. So, I never really been into healthy relationships, right? So my first one, it was great. Healthy, lovely, nice, perfect. But I got scared because it was like, y'all know when things be too good to be true, you just be like, nah, I'm gonna stay away. It was like that. Like, the relationship was great, but I got scared. So I was like, hey, man, take a break. Gotta step back, because it just, I just, something has to be wrong. You know, like, when things are going too good, something has to be wrong. And I know there's something I need to work on, but it's just like, so I stepped back from that relationship, but at the end of the day, I'm always gonna go back to that relationship because we just took a break, but now it's like, I guess I'm realizing that I'm ready and that that's what I want. So, yeah, I don't know. Am I single? I would say no. Because it's like, yeah, we not together, but at the same time, Mom going back, so it really ain't no point of us doing whatever it is you trying to do, because I'm gonna go back once I get my life together. And then at the same time, it's like, when the depression and all that stuff hit, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to be by myself for a while, isolate. And that's another thing, like, I walk away from everything, all my relationships, especially when I feel like I'm getting used, or like it's a lot going on, or just when I just don't feel right, I'll leave. You ain't even gotta do nothing. I will walk out your life. Like, it's a problem. It's a problem. Some people keep trying to say it's the Capricorn in me, but honestly, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's just, I got issues. You got them too. So give them all to me, and I give mine to you. But that's why we had to take the break, though, because I can't do that. I can't put my, like, the depression hit, and then the relationship was just like, I just felt like I needed to go. I need to go. Because I don't want to put my pain and my problems and all my stuff on somebody else. Like, granted, that's purposely, I've been in a relationship to work everything out, but I don't want to do that. I just feel some type of way putting my problems onto somebody else, because now you got to suffer with me. No, that's not cool. So instead, saladalo. And the last question of the night. Drum roll, please. Do you think people with albinism are going to ever wise up and be our own people? Lord have mercy. Okay, so let's get into this real quick. Cause I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna read that again. Hold on. Because y'all just don't understand. Do you think people with albinism will ever wise up and be our own people? I am sincerely sorry to the people of the albinism community, but I 100% disagree with y'all if this is what we're talking about. I have a lot of friends that have albinism, and they always say, okay, pause. I have a couple friends specifically who are albino, who have albinism, and they always say, we are our own race, we are our own people, da da da. And I don't think I understand it in the way that y'all are talking, because to me, it makes it sound like we need to just be our own group, our own minority, our own, well, would albinos be a minority? That's a can of worms for another day. One day, I'm going to make a video about albinism and all my theories and conspiracies and thoughts and ideas, because we can't go down that hole, because this video will be 3 hours long if I go down that hole. So I'm going to just keep that thought in my head. But I don't think that we should keep trying to say albinism is a race or its own thing, because it's not. That's not what albinism is. That would be like saying people with cancer or they own, like, no. Granted, yes, you can have your own group and your own support and like-minded people and stuff like that, but in my eyes, it's a line that's being crossed between like a support group or like your own community and stuff like that to make it on race. Because the way that the idea keeps getting put to me is that we should just pick up, buy our own land, and nobody but albinos are allowed there. Well, that's weird. Sorry, but it doesn't make sense to me. But if we're talking about from an aspect of like, how do I say this in a way that makes sense? If we're talking about like strictly support group, or like, I guess you would say a community in which you can just, if you have albinism, you can come and like involve yourself and get to know people. That's perfectly fine. That's cool. Great. I would love that. In fact, there are a lot of albinism groups, but they're all kind of off. And by that I mean they're like, they don't focus on the right things, and they're not considerate of what they're posting and what they're doing or who are in their group and da-da-da. I'm not saying the group should strictly be people with albinism. However, I am saying there's no reason for 1,000+ of the members to not have albinism, not have anything to do with albinism, but are the main ones, like so with that said, personally growing up, if I would have had somebody who also had albinism who I can go to for anything that had to do with albinism, honestly anything in general, but specifically anything with albinism, it would have been great. A group or anything. But when I got older, like 17, 18, I was like on Facebook more, and I found a bunch of older people with albinism, and they made me feel better. They made me like realize a lot of things that I didn't consider or I felt bad about, or they helped me change my whole perspective on having albinism and how I deal with it and stuff like that. So if that's not what that question meant and I didn't answer it, I'm sorry, but I tried. Because that question itself is loaded. If you don't ask it the correct way, I'm gonna probably go in a different path than what you were thinking. So yeah, that's the last question, right? Yep. So with all of that said, this is the first Q&A. And I need a intro and outro. But I want an intro that's simple. Like real simple. Classy, cute, goofy, but simple. I don't want a bunch of pictures of me up. I don't want it cluttered. I want it to be like, you get what I'm saying. I want it like, So, if anybody could give me ideas, show me something, make something, anything, because I don't got my laptop right now. So, if it's something I can do on my phone, please send it my way, because my editing abilities are really limited right now due to lack of laptop ability, accessibility. So, without further ado, that is it on this Q&A. One last thing, I swear, I promise it's it. I don't know what my next video gonna be yet. So if you got any ideas, if it's something you want to see, if it's something you want me to do, let me know. Because otherwise, I'm going to be Googling.